Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Today is going to be really awesome. We've got Paulina. For those of you that haven't had the pleasure of meeting Paulina, she is one of the engineers here at the office. She is, how do you describe Paulina? One of the most awesome people in the world. She's about 5 foot nothing, can't weigh more than 85 pounds, tiny little thing that everybody underestimates, including me the first time I met her. But this girl, she is the one that takes the orders out of my office and gets them over to El Paso Electric. She handles the interconnection, some of the interconnection paperwork. She handles all the scheduling. Without Paulina here at the office, life would be a lot harder for all of us. She's a wonderful, wonderful lady, and she also just got married last week. So, Paulina, thank you for taking your time today to give this presentation, and I will turn it over to you.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you for the introduction.
She gets embarrassed easily too.
Oh, another thing, yeah. So, well, thank you guys for taking the time to go over these things with me. We really just want to make this like something that we can do more often in case you guys have any technical questions or questions from your customers that you just want to send our way. And also, I think it's so powerful for you guys to know more about the systems and what other customers have been through, what we've been through with them, and that will give you a lot more information to give to them, and also to feel more confident, I guess, during your presentations, to know that you have all of that information that's empowering. So Jim sent me a couple of questions that you have heard from your customers. Very, very often we get those questions. So since I don't have a camera on my computer and I wanted to share my screen, that's why I'm not showing you guys my face, also because I didn't do anything to my hair like always. But let me share my screen very quick. So if you are on a computer, you can probably see it bigger. If not, you'll get like a glance of it.
I've made you a host, Paulina. You can share now.
Oh, okay, cool. So, no, not this. Oh, I'm not sharing it yet, right?
Nope, we don't see anything yet.
Okay, I think I want to hear everything. You're gonna see yourself, Jim, for a little.
Perfect.
Okay. So I guess most of our consultants are either bilingual or are like familiarized with Spanish, or Spanish is our first language, like mine. So if you have any questions that you want me to translate or that you didn't understand in English, let me know. We can discuss that in Spanish. I have 2 videos. They're very basic. I'm gonna send them to you just for the time here. But I did get some questions about some basic stuff on the panels, the weight of the panels, the dimensions of the panels. We use large panels because we go for the higher capacity, higher wattage panels. And I'm going to show you our spec sheet where you can find all of that information. If you don't have a copy of this, let us know. We can send it to you. We're using the Trina 400 watt modules. These are 72 cells. So this is the bigger panel than the one that other companies use to install. Because these are mainly used for commercial, but also we love that we can put less panels and give more capacity to our customers, right? With a higher wattage panel. On the spec sheet, you will see the weight of the panel, which was a question we got. Well, some of you have gotten from your customer. These are 50 pounds each. So we have, our guys are very strong guys. So they're used to this weight, getting these on the roof. Of course, this is not an easy job, right? But this is the weight of the panels. They are 79 inches by 39, and that's just, I'm not used to inches, so 79 divided by 12, so 6.5 feet by like 39 by 3, so 6.5 by 3.25 feet. That's the dimension of our panels. If you've been to our warehouse, you've seen them, and if you haven't, you're more than welcome to do so. They're big, so if your customer is thinking that they're not gonna be shown, that they're not gonna be seen, unless you let us know that they don't want to see them, they're pretty visible. They're beautiful in our eyes, Jim, mine, Javier's, but not everybody thinks that. So if your customer doesn't want to see them, they're concerned about that, let us know. If you have any questions about any other physical aspect of the panel, let me know. But we'll make sure you have it, the spec sheet if you don't by now. There were also some questions about damage to the panels, about hail damage. We haven't seen that. We suspect that it happened to some of the panels that we do maintenance for an El Paso plant outside of town, and there was a very strong. So we suspect that happened to both, but the only damage that we've seen is on with golf balls mainly. So if you have a customer that lives by a golf court, just you have to keep that in mind, because that's the only damage that I've seen, and not from hail so far. Other thing that I saw is about what if there is bird poop, and I guess because it can cover part of the panel. Of course, the panels don't need any maintenance. If your customer wants to make sure they're very, very clean, the difference it makes between like dusting off the dirt from the panels is minimal. So if your customer is not concerned about that, that's not something to worry about. It helps like probably like, what, 3% of the power outage. I'm sorry, power production. So that's not something to be very. Sometimes it happens. You can come across birds nesting under the panels. That or I guess how do you call those animals? Rodents.
What?
Well, any animal that can get underneath the panels and maybe bite, chew on the wires under the panels. Like, I don't know, what could get under there? Well, I don't know. I think we've had just one situation with that, and we have the option if your customer wants to include the critter guard. That's the only thing that we can add. But I don't know if that applies to that question about bird poop. Was I clear about that? No, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So yeah, if your customer, besides bird poop on top of the panels, that can just be like washed with water if the customer is really concerned about that. But we said like I don't think it would affect that much unless it's completely covered, of course. But if your customer is concerned about birds nesting underneath the panels, or maybe animals going in there and biting, chewing on the wire. We have the critter guard, is this mesh that we can cover the panels with. It's not included in the basic installation, so if your customer wants to add that, let us know. We'll give you a quote for that. Not a lot of people have that problem in town, but if they do have a problem of birds nesting everywhere on the roof, maybe it's something to add to their initial quote. I also got some questions about roof leaks. So what happens if a customer, after the installation, they notice they have a leak? Let us know right away. As soon as your customer tells you that, let me or Javier know. We'll send someone. We have this camera that will tell you the temperature difference. So with that, we can see exactly where that leak is coming from. So we'll check, is it coming from the area where we installed the panels? If yes, we'll take care of everything that it damaged. If not, we'll let the customer know, hey, this is the part where water is coming from. Maybe there's a vent, or maybe there's but we'll definitely go check that for the customer and let them know if there's anything I'm sorry, like 1 or maybe 2 in 12 years. I can just think of one, and with probably somebody under not enough training or very I don't know, but it was, I just can remember this one customer that we've had that problem with, that we did cause him a leak, but throughout 12 years, it was just that one person, we took care of everything as soon as we were aware that it was our responsibility. So we take care of our customers. So don't worry about those situations. Let us know when we'll handle those. Let me see. Oh, and feel free to, I don't know, you can raise your hand here or something. Just if you want me to repeat something, or if you have a question regarding what we're talking about, related to what we're talking about. Okay, if there is an outage, what happens if there is an outage in my neighborhood? Because I have panels, I should still be producing power, right? And the answer is no. So if there's an outage in the from El Paso Electric, maybe the transformer is bad or something like that, we're, by safety code, we're not allowed to leave the system running. So if the fire department has to get on the roof and work there and check at home, the solar system has to be completely off. Those panels cannot be sending anything to the home. For that reason, we cannot have the system be on while an outage. But if the customer has a battery system, that's a completely different story. That's what a battery system's for. If your customer wants to have that security, that's when you sell them a battery system. And I guess you guys have talked about that a lot. But if your customer asks you that question, it might, with a grid-tied system, the ones we sell, connected to El Paso Electric, interconnected with them, they cannot be on during an outage. And that's by safety rule also, because if we want power during an outage, we need a battery. Okay, so I added this because it's a question that I've been getting a lot. What if my monitoring says I'm producing zero power? My system's not working. What's going on here? You need to get here right now. So that's what we get a lot from our customers. So the first thing, when your customer sees that they have a zero current power, that doesn't necessarily mean that right now they're producing zero, because like on this system that I'm showing, the last update was on October 2nd. So the monitoring system disconnected from the Wi-Fi on October 2nd. That's why we're not looking at any power today. So if your customer tells you that they think that the system's not working, hey, don't worry. If it's not working, we'll go right away. But most likely, if you're looking at that from the monitoring system, it's just disconnected from the Wi-Fi. And we'll start a work order. We'll take care of that customer, reconnect it, or if they want to do it themselves, send them the instructions. Um, but yeah, that's something that a lot of customers like they get very frustrated if they're not there right away because they're seeing that zero when it's just that it's not connected. If this system was a on the monitoring system, it tells us when was the last time it reported any information. So that's on the last update that I'm highlighting here. And on the app, it's like the first thing on the picture of the house. If you have looked at the app on your customer monitoring app, um, that's something that we can check. Hey, your system disconnected a couple of days ago. We'll help you reconnect it, but don't worry, it must be on. It's just not reporting energy. Something very, very quick to do in that situation. If your customer tells you, hey, it's not working, my monitoring says I'm producing zero power, hey, take a look at your rec meter. That's a super easy thing to check to make sure that the system's operating. Hey, just take a quick look there. The rec meter has the reading, right? The numbers. And then underneath the numbers, there's 3 squares. So let me see if I can find a picture of a rec meter. I used to have one, but I don't know where. Okay, I'm gonna take too long. So just the rec meter has the numbers. Underneath the numbers, there's 3 little squares that if you're producing power, it's gonna be moving. So that's a super easy thing to check to make sure the system is working. That way, the customer is not going to be worried about us going right away to take care of their problem. It's like, okay, it's just an internet connection. There's nothing wrong with the system. It's just not communicating.
Paulina, I have a question.
Huh?
This, excuse me, this is Esther. I have a question. A few weeks ago, one of my customers called me that she lives in Sunland Park, and she says that they have in Sunland Park a very little Wi-Fi, and she said that she needed to disconnect the solar panels because her daughter is working from home and also is going school from home, and they need it to be faster. And what happens if they're not connected to the internet?
Nothing. The only thing is that you're not going to see it online, but the system is still on. It's still producing.
Okay. Okay. And also, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like, I don't know what she did disconnected. The easiest thing I think would be just disconnected the Wi-Fi extender. You know, we connect the system to a little extender that's via plug, a white. It's an easy
Uh,
Hey, Paulina, I'm going to pause everything and turn off some microphones. Hang on. All right. Everybody has been muted. I am going to now give it back to Paulina. If you need to unmute yourself, just unmute yourself. But there's a couple of you with stuff going on in the background. It's getting real hard to hear. Oh, sorry, Paulina. You're the host again.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so if you guys didn't hear something, I don't know what part of it. Yeah, let me know.
No,
On
that's
not
all right. And I want to follow up on Esther's thing. The amount of data that the internet monitoring uses is minuscule. It's less than a text message. It just sends some binary data up every minute or 5 minutes. Uh, I promise you, one YouTube video will use more Wi-Fi bandwidth than your internet monitoring will, your solar monitoring will in 5 years. It's a non-issue.
true, yeah. Okay, I'm unmuted. And also, Alan's has a very, very helpful blog post on our website and about these questions about monitoring, about how to like know what you're looking at when you open your monitoring app. Um, so yeah, we can also send them the link. Hey, take a look at this. It'll give you a lot more information on that. Maybe you don't have the time to explain it to them, but you can just tell them that we have our knowledge base, your customer care website. It's a great tool. We were talking about, I kind of got lost. Oh, on the customer, yeah, nothing's gonna happen to the system. It can still be producing power. The only problem is if she maybe notices something that the electric bill went too high from one month to the other, we're if and we'd like to check on it online, right? To avoid sending someone to the house right away. We're not gonna have probably the guys available at the moment. We want to take a look at it online, and then, well, since she disconnected it or something, we're not gonna be able to. So it's gonna slow us down a little. That's why we try to have everyone online, even if they don't use it, just in case the situations happen. Okay, let me see what else. Another thing on that, I think I've seen it a couple of times. All of our important wire is on a conduit, so nothing can happen to those wires. But the monitoring wire, the communication wire, that's not in a conduit. So we've had dogs chew on those. I guess they like that plastic. So it can happen. It's not the end of the world again. The system can still be producing without being connected to the Wi-Fi. Just let us know, hey, the dog chewed on the Cat5 cable, the communication cable. Can we go replace it? Can we check on the system? But it's not the end of the world. It's not, the system's still on. Electric bill. Okay, are there any questions on this? Do you guys want to, I can look up a picture of the meter if you guys have not seen that on like checking the rec meter. No?
That would be awesome.
Okay, so I should have some pictures of meters. Let's see, 1 second. Okay. I do have one. Okay. So I want to go through that. What am I doing? Oh, that's not here. Meanwhile, you can look at the blog post from that Alan has on our website. It tells them how to reconnect the system to the Wi-Fi on the easiest way to do it. The easiest way to do is just to unplug and plug back in the TP-Link or Wi-Fi extender. TP-Link is the brand, I'm sorry. The Wi-Fi extender we install is this little white box. So if the system is disconnected, they didn't change their Wi-Fi password, they can just go to this device, the white device, unplug it and plug it back in, and it's gonna show them. It's gonna look for the Wi-Fi again. Okay, where is it? Oh, okay, here's one. This is a rec meter. The rec meter has a tag, solar rec meter, and it has the number, that number 2,392 kilowatt hours. It's how much that system has produced. That meter measures everything the system's doing, everything the system's producing. So right away, as soon as the meters are installed, we passed every inspection. This meter is going to be on zeros, but as soon as the system's on, it's going to start measuring power. And then underneath that, I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't know if I can zoom in more. What am I doing? No, sorry.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, well, underneath those numbers at 2,392, there's 3 squares. Those 3 squares, very tiny there, are like a signal that tells us that it is measuring power. So those are gonna be moving, like simulating, like it's rotating. And that means that the sun is giving us power, we're producing it, we're sending it to the house. If those squares are not there, either it is night, it is at nighttime, or maybe the system is facing the morning sun and it's already 5 or 6 or 7, it's not gonna move that much, right? But if it's the middle of the day, 12, and those squares are not moving, that's a bad signal. Let us know, hey, my customer checked on the rec meter and the squares are not moving. They haven't been moving for a couple of hours, for a whole day. That's a situation where we have to send someone to go check the system. But if your customer tells you, hey, I'm not producing any power, my monitoring says that, hey, go look at your solar rec meter. It has 3 squares that should be moving. Are those moving? Yes. Okay, you're producing power. So no need to worry. We'll send someone to help you with your monitoring. I hope that's helpful. What else? How much? We're done with time, right? Oh no, it's still 12.
Paulina.
Ajá.
Hola, buenos días. Soy Ofelia. Una pregunta. ¿Qué pasa si uno de los paneles nada más no está funcionando? ¿Qué va a pasar con los 3 cuadros? Porque pueden estarse moviendo, pero si solamente uno de los paneles está fallando, ¿no nos vamos a dar cuenta o sí?
En el medidor no nos vamos a dar cuenta, porque el medidor te está diciendo la producción. El medidor nomás te está diciendo si hay producción, no te está diciendo cuánta, ¿verdad? Entonces, ahí sí, si el cliente se dio cuenta de que un panel estaba, bueno, aquí no voy a ver nada, pero si el cliente se dio cuenta de que un panel está más negrito todo el día, es importante mandar a alguien. Por ejemplo, ok, no, aquí no. I don't know. There's a cell. Solar. Let's look at our system. So there's parts of the day that, when maybe a panel is not going to be on. Okay. Este es nuestro sistema. Y para los que hablan español, ¿qué pasa si un panel, digamos, este panel está más oscuro que los demás? Sí, hay que ir a revisarlo. A veces puede ser que haya un tubo o un árbol, algo bloqueándolo, pero si es un panel nomás y todo el día está produciendo menos que los demás, sí es algo para ir a mandar a alguien a revisar. Si en la mañana está produciendo poquito, pero en la tarde ya se ve azul como los demás, no hay problema, debe ser nomás alguna sombra.
Yes, okay. But I mean on the 3 squares that you are looking at the meter, what we won't notice anything or
underproducing, we're not going to be able to tell by looking at the rec meter not producing. If okay, is my internet good? Is my signal good?
Yep.
No problem. Okay, I got a notification here. Okay.
You're fine.
But if we do see like one panel underproducing, which would be like darker blue on the monitoring, let us know. If it's that way the whole day, that's a bad signal. If it's a little bit dark in the morning, not a problem. It's probably gonna start producing probably later in the day. Like here, these panels are darker because they're gonna get the sun directly later in the day. Right now, this section, the lighter section, is producing more power. It's completely normal. But if a panel is dark the whole day, let us know. Tell the customer to call us, you call us. I think it's much faster when the customer directly calls us. I don't know, I think we get the pressure there. So give them my number or Javier's number and we'll talk to them. We'll coordinate somebody going and checking on the panel. Okay. Any other questions on monitoring? I think I don't know if you guys get those questions, but we do get them a lot.
Yeah, and just a reminder, anytime your customers have monitoring problems, tell them to call 915-400-2995, option number 2, and that's going to get them directly to operations. And two things happen there. One, the operations people have all the technical tools here at the warehouse to help the customer over the phone. Two, it gives you time to go out and sell more. The guys here in the office are not as good at selling as you are, and you guys aren't as good at troubleshooting as they are. So use the strengths of the company, which is Paulina and Javier and Ivan, and let your customers, just pass it off to these people, and they are great. They're going to take as good care of your customer as you would yourself.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I would be terrible at selling. Okay, what else? Well, maybe on the meters again. I had another picture of that. I don't know if this is too technical, but on the arrows on the meter, I don't know if you guys have gotten those questions. Like the customer notices the arrows on the meters and they want to know what they're telling. So the net meter, and I think I can show you, sorry, Edgar, I'm using your pictures. This one. Okay, there's an arrow there. This is the net meter. This is the one that starts on a 0, but then goes back and forth. If you're sending power to El Paso Electric, it's gonna go backwards. So if it was on a 0, it's gonna go 99999, 9998, 9997, 996. If you're sending them power, if you're using power from them, it's gonna go 9998, 999. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to start measuring how much you're using from them. The arrow tells you whether you're using from them or you're sending to them. So the arrow, like on the picture, pointing right, it tells you that you're using power from El Paso Electric. So what that means is, let's say this is in the middle of the day on a very hot day in the summer. You're producing everything the system's produce. You're using everything the system's producing, but on top of that, because you have your AC at 60, you're using energy from El Paso Electric as well. So you're getting energy from both. That's what this arrow means. And then let's say also, of course, at night you're using power, and the arrow is going to be pointing that way. But let's say in the day you haven't turned on your AC because it's not that hot, you're gonna be seeing that arrow pointing left, and that's telling you that you're sending credits to El Paso Electric. So you're not using everything you're producing, you're sending a part of it to El Paso Electric, and that's what they see, the customer sees on the electric bill at the end of the month. And that's also something, I don't know if guys want to talk about that today or maybe on another session, because I think that's kind of too much information on how to look at read the electric bill. That's also something that we always see questions from the customers that they have no idea of what's on their electric bill, basically. And me and Javier, we are not able to talk to each customer and explain everything to them. So if you guys want to know about how to read the electric bill, we can go over that. And that, I think it's extremely helpful. Once you finish your sale and the system's running and they get their bill, they don't know what they're looking at. For you to be able to help them with that, I think it makes a major difference. I've seen it with the people that do it. Because of course they trust you more. They know that they can go to you for these kinds of questions. And I don't know, if you guys want to go over something like that, let me know. Other than that, I don't think I have more on my list, Jim.
Okay. Does anybody, we still got another 3 to 5 minutes. Does anybody have any questions for Paulina?
Yes, I do. When you said, Paulina, on the arrow on the left of the meter, is it producing or is sending energy to El Paso Electric, or is both?
Okay, so the arrow pointing the opposite direction we see here, pointing left, means that part of what you're producing, you're not using at home, so you're sending it to El Paso Electric. So you're not sending everything you're producing, right? You're using some at home and sending the rest to El Paso Electric. And that's when the arrow points left.
Awesome. Thank you.
So another thing that we get a lot of times is the customer thinks that meter, that reading is going to tell them like what they should expect from the bill or something like that. This meter is very, very hard to like, it's not meant to be read like on the, like just the numbers. Like, it's not going to tell you much because it's going back and forth during the whole day. Like maybe an hour going one way, like 2 or 3 hours going one way, and then the next hour going back. So you're not going to be able to keep track of that meter. Never. So if your customer tells you that meter or something, hey, don't worry about it. Call the office. They can help you with that. That meter is just to, like, I don't know, it's not meant to be read like that, like to be worried about the numbers on it. I would say just worry about the arrow. That's any other questions?
Right. Paulina, this has been fantastic. This has also been our absolutely best attended Thursday training meeting ever. I'm guessing that sending out the emails worked better than putting stuff on chat, and probably having Paulina do the presentation instead of me or Alan also got a lot of people in here. So, Paulina, thank you again very, very much. I learned a few things. I'm sure everybody here picked up some good stuff. This video will be, this Zoom meeting has been recorded, and we will get it uploaded to the Solar Smart University sometime in the next day or two. And as always, if you've got questions, send them to me, send them to Paulina, pick up the phone, hit me in WhatsApp. We like answering questions because a knowledgeable sales force is a more productive sales force. So thank you all. Next week, next Thursday will be Scoop 201. We're going to intermediate scooping. It's not going to be any harder than it is now. Also next week, your field manager should have sent you out a sign-up sheet. We're doing in-person training for the Scoop for the apps, all the Solar Smart Living apps. And Alan is going to be doing one-on-one sessions. You can sign up to be at Joe Battle here at Santa Teresa or at the Las Cruces office next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So if you haven't gotten that from your field manager, go ahead and ask them. Oh, there's some awesome messages here for you, Paulina. Thank you so much for all your information. Thank you, Paulina. I would like more training from you. You're awesome as well. Eddie, you are absolutely correct about that. Thank you all very much, and we will see you in person next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and online next Thursday for this meeting. Thanks.
All right.
Paulina, thank you, Jim. This was an awesome
Thank
training.
you.
One of the best,
Thank
like
you.
you said.
Thank you, Paulina and Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you to both of you.
Thank you. All information is very valuable.
Hey, thanks for being here, man. We appreciate it.